Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus The Riven Realms. We're here about to tell Aruki and Karendar whether or not we're going to help them defeat the Dark Elves and the Orcs. So here we go. You've seen them, maybe even fought them, Karendar ponders. You should go and talk to them, perhaps even both, to see if they'll listen to you. Hey, I'm cool with that. If I can convince people to talk to me, I'm pretty good at it. And then if they don't talk to me, I'm really good at killing them too, so both sides of one coin. See what they want, work for them, but pick one as soon as possible. Oh, so I have to choose between the two, maybe. When we arrived, I talked extensively to both groups and tried to negotiate a deal to supply the expedition. The Orcs are sitting on most of the mushrooms and water, so I started there. They wanted none of what I had to offer and instead tried to strong-arm us into fighting against the Dark Elves. The Elves, on the other hand, only desired to wipe out the Orcs before hearing any sort of arrangement between the expedition and their clan. To keep tensions low, we cooperated with both factions, but soon enough they became suspicious of us, calling us spies, insurgents, allies of their nemesis. Thus, I advise against trying to work with both groups, lest you end up outside of their spheres of trust. Once you pick one of them, keep earning their trust, Aruki chimes in. A time will come when they see you as a powerful ally, and then they will also understand that your comitatus, the expedition, and they, together, can defeat their enemy. You ask them if they have a preference in who to pursue in the matter. None, Karendar shrugs. I have no love for either, even though I can see both as a powerful ally. Whichever you can convince to strike a deal with us will do just fine. You inquire if the dwarves can spare anyone to aid you in this, or at least provide resources. You'll always be welcome in Dolans, Karendar says cautiously. As for the costs, which I am certain will be quite significant, well, consider them your contribution to the expedition. Regrettably, I cannot spare people either. We have few enough dwarves as it is, and keeping them together is a miracle in and of itself. But also, most members of our expedition are craftsmen, scouts, and specialists. That is also a reason why we wouldn't want to be embroiled in a war between these factions. You, on the other hand, you ask him if you are expendable. Quite the opposite, Aruki clarifies. You are indispensable and have unique traits that we would rely on. Karendar looks at you meaningfully and leans on his desk. He is silent and contemplative for a while and then glances at a chart of the continent laid out on his desk. Is it true what Aruki told me? He asks thoughtfully. Can you traverse the outer realms? Seeing no reason to deny it, you confirm that you can reach parts of Terra Supra through realm gates. And I'm asking you to find a wayward soul. The dwarf expedition leader intones, my cousin Barundar, a respected member of our venture, failed to return in time from the ruins of Quathos, on the other side of the Molten Tongue. He traveled there with a group of dwarves to retrieve something vital for our journey. Find him for us, as without him the expedition cannot start in earnest, even if the matter of Doomgarak were to be settled. Oh, so they want us to go back and get a guy and bring him back with us. Wouldn't the considerable abilities of the Vagrus be best utilized elsewhere, Aruki argues. We have to face the possibility that Barundar is lost to us forever, or else he gave up and abandoned us. Unlikely, Karendar says, waving a hand dismissively. But even if you're right, Arrow, we have to be certain. For Drala as well as for the rest of us, he glances at you. Barundar certainly made camp in southern Tarar Barak, in a place he would use as a staging ground to map a route to Quathos itself across the broken plains. He proceeds to mark the spot on your chart. Find out what happened and bring back anything he might have uncovered. And please, Vagrus, if you be so kind, don't mention this task or Barundar's personal loss to any member of the expedition. You nod. He rises and you shake hands. You can always come to me and mine here in the hold, of course, he tells you. Should you decide to involve yourself in the war from Doomgarak, you can find the Sardakron clan of Dark Elves in Thane's vaults, and the Orcs of the Venomous Fang tribe in Ungfongor. I won't hold you longer, but come back any time. I'd also check on the people of this camp. Some can advise you or provide services you might need in this forsaken place. With that, you take your leave and Aruki escorts you down the stairs. I think I'm kind of leaning towards working with the Orcs, because they're the ones that got the food, and the food is all I really care about. Forgive me for taking some of the credit, but I knew you'd be good for us, Aruki speaks after a while, her pride palpable. A godsend, as I've said. You ask her if she is an ardent follower of the gods. Her subsequent hearty laughter echoes down the stairwell. No, I wouldn't say that I am, Vagrus, she says after she has recovered. I am a dwarf after all, but that doesn't mean I don't believe in anything. Industriousness, self-enlightenment, persistence in the face of adversity, Karendar and his quest, all things I believe in. He's made all this possible, by the way. An exceptional leader, just like you, in fact. Too few of your kind these days. You descend to the courtyard where Iruki leads you to a large stone table on a dais. The latter must have served as a gathering point for military leaders, while the former is intricately carved with a map of Doomgarak. Despite the stone being chipped and cracked in several places, the chart is still intact enough to be used. Iruki proceeds to explain how you can reach Thane's Vaults and Fongor districts without the risk of peril. You spend some minutes memorizing the map as much as you can. You can also try your luck in Morgron, the Black Forge, she says, pointing to a district next to Khazran's Great Hall. Or visit Rigrun, the old iron and copper mines here. She shows you an area beneath the forges. There is always something to be found. As long as you're with us, you can keep your spoils from Doomgarak. Not that you're the kind who would ask for permission. She saw right through me. I was instantly thinking, let's go raid that place for stuff. Iruki's cheeky smile tells you that she is jesting in good fun. You ask her about the other districts. I wouldn't go there if I were you, she says, a frown twisting on her pretty features. The other districts are lost to us, at least for now. The Dark Elves or Orcs might know safer paths there, but the main thoroughfares were collapsed or overtaken by the spiders. At length you leave the dais. Iruki escorts you out of the fastness itself to the marshalling grounds where the expedition camp is situated. Drala greets you, having seemingly awaited your return. You just had to, she grumbles, casting a glare at Iruki, who does not seem to be taken aback. I don't understand the reason for your enmity, dear, Iruki tells Drala with mock concern. Can I not spend some time with your cousin, especially when he's brooding on matters he can't change instead of making important decisions? I'm certain that the important decisions are the reason you spend time with him, Drala snaps back. Iruki, sensing that she succeeded in upsetting her opponent, smiles and turns to you. I have better things to do than this infantile bickering, Vagrus. It's been an honor to get to know you, and to have you as an ally. I'll be seeing you around for certain. She leaves, and you expect Drala to throw something after her, but instead she becalms herself and turns to you. So, what happened? She asks you, her tone friendlier. Did they convince you to fight someone else's battles? You tell her your task involving the Dark Elves and the Orcs, but not the one about Barundar. He'd asked us not to tell anybody about that, so I'll skip that part. You tell Drala everything except your task of finding Barundar. She seems thoughtful then and raises an eyebrow. That's not all, is it? She asks, but goes on immediately. I don't understand why there's secrecy surrounding a potential rescue mission concerning Barundar. Everyone else already expects the worst. Well, I do understand, but I still don't like it. Whatever. Don't say anything. Just know that Barundar is the best of us, truly. His decisiveness and calming presence are sorely missed already. You ask her about their cousin and how he joined the expedition, seeing no reason to deny anything. Well, that didn't last long. Not very good at keeping secrets, am I? It was really him and Karandar that came up with it all, she muses. Karandar was always been the undisputed leader and the one to organize it all, but Barundar, well, every such venture needs a second in command. A right-hand man. I'm sure you know how it is with your profession. Every ship has a first mate and every Vagrus has a deputy or captain. Someone to lead in their absence and balance them when necessary. That was, well, is Barundar for us. A leader who has to make tough decisions all too often, you see, and the other one who can soften the blow to the crew. One of their own. Anyway, in Barundar's absence, no one knows who's supposed to fill that role. Except Iruki, of course. Drala shakes her head and then raises a hand before you can say anything. I apologize, Vagrus. It's unbecoming to complain so, she says in genuine regret. As for the other thing, I'm certain that whoever you decide to be involved with will appreciate your efforts after a while. That is to say, don't get discouraged by their initial grouchiness. They've been at each other's throats while fighting off the spiders for a long time, so their trust is not easily gained. Sadly, both groups have a number of members who keep spreading hate and favor warmongering over peace. Those will be especially difficult to convince. She sighs and then smiles. But enough of the doom and gloom, she tells you. Now let me show you around camp. You accompany her. True to her promise, Drala guides you around the camp and shows you not only the borders of its confines, the well-guarded entrances and exits, as well as the defenses, but also takes you to the most important locations. You visit Captain Tharbron in the lower-level barracks of the fort, where he is garrisoned along with his handful of warriors. Then Drala takes you outside to a clump of tents, where a fellow of small stature, even for a dwarf, is ordering around members of the expedition. It appears they are organizing tools and supplies. That's Mir, your guide informs you. Best not disturb him now. He has a foul temper when vexed during his work. He's our quartermaster, so he'll be the one to turn to if you need equipment. He'll ask a fair price for certain. Well, what can I say? We're dwarves. Then she points to a large gray tent near the great scaffolding on the northern side. And that is our supply tent. You can find me around there most of the time, but others will point you in the right direction if I'm out and about. And well, that's about it. With your business concluded here, you return to the Comitatus outside Doomgarok's gates with Drala by your side. There you explain everything that happened to your crew and briefly discuss your next steps. From now on, Doomgarok's dwarven settlers welcome you, and their camp will serve as a makeshift manzio when you visit the ruined city. Yes! That's exactly what I was hoping for. Once the Comitatus is ready to set out, you take it inside the mountain and into Dolan's Hold, where you establish a camp. Whatever you were expecting when taking up Aruki on her proposition has turned into a new frontier, one that will see the fate of Doomgarok decided if Karendar is to be believed. What is more, his expedition has the potential to turn into something truly exceptional should you decide to be part of it. Now, new opportunities have certainly manifested themselves. You can now decide what to make of it. More insight. Okay. So we could go visit the orcs here. Khazran's Great Hall. So Dolan's Hole is where the orcs are. Thane's Vaults are where the dark elves are. And I think Khazran's Great Hall is just like open to us. Let's go to Dolan's Hole real quick. Or wait a minute. I see. So let's get some supplies real quick first. Fill that out. What kind of equipment do you guys got? You got skewers? That's it? You can't have my guard dogs. I like that they do have like a motley assortment of stuff. All right. Oh, they do have some fighters. Well, I'll be. I'm gonna hire them fighters right away. They don't have slaves. They do have some workers, which is intriguing because if we got enough labor, we could get up to 300, which would allow us to carry even more. But right now we're at 7 days, which is pretty good. It would be nice. How many people do we have? We have 10. So if we wanted to get up to 300, well, 5 people must be 120, which means 2.5 people is 60. So maybe with 3 workers we can do it? Wait a minute. Where'd they go? Oh, we're in the stadio. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. You guys are so much weaker than the slaves. What the heck? Six cargo. Get out of here. I will grab this extra scout though. I did want to get 6 scouts. Okay, cool. So now let's go check out Dolan's Hold. Just west of Khazran's Great Hall is the old martial district of Doomgarok, crowned by the fortress of Dolan's Hold, a half-subterranean fastness with underground marshalling grounds stretched out in front of its massive gatehouse. Although the area is mostly abandoned, the dwarven outpost at the fort provides the only truly reliable sanctuary inside the underground city, a speck of life and light in the perpetual darkness. I would like to head to the Expeditioner's outpost. I would like to visit the quartermaster because I'm kind of thinking we might be able to get some cool gear. I hope. We'll see. You walk over to the side of the camp where a clump of tents is surrounded by stockpiles with goods of all sizes and types, neatly placed on them. A few dwarves are moving amphora painted with symbols of grain between 2 tents. A squinting dwarf with a small stature is watching the process, a frown creasing his wizened features. He's about to say something presumably nasty to his subordinates, but then he sees you, clears his throat, and beckons you over. Finally, someone who has some business acumen, he says in a squeaky voice. But common sense, we shall see, eh? My name's Mir, but you should know that already, and I know yours, as well as who you are, so don't bother telling me. What you should tell me is what you need, and be quick about it. I haven't got all day. Some of us have to make this expedition not crap itself under its own self-righteous weight, am I right? I suppose you'll be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, too. What else you do, eh? It's our lot in life, I'm afraid. Where would everyone else be without us, industrious types, I wonder? You ask Mir if he would be open to answering some questions. Questions? He asks as if disgusted by the idea. If you insist, but don't waste my time, Vagrus. I'm a busy dwarf, as I'm sure you can see for yourself. My advice would be to take a gander at what I have and then come back to me with what you want. Both wares and knowledge, more effective that way, eh? Oh, and bring enough coin. Nothing's for free in this world. Not wishing to argue with the irreverent dwarf, you step away to look around the stockpiles and decide what to talk to him about. I would like to purchase some stuff. Yes. I already have good quality tools. Ah! Well, well, well. Minus slave and worker workforce, minus vigor, minus march, but we get cargo increase. Interesting. I think we need to buy these. Is there anything else we would want? I don't really care about a dwarven gadget. Ask him about the state of affairs of the camp. Bah! Everyone vexes me to get something they want, Mir complains with a squeaky voice. It never ends. Mir, what about these supplies? Tell you what, curse your supplies and curse you as well. The quartermaster adjusts his attire and gathers his wits after the outburst. Well, not you, understand. I was speaking in general. At any rate, it would be worse here. At least we've gained a foothold in the mountains. This is where us dwarves are supposed to be, not wandering around like homeless vagabonds dabbling in mercantilism. No offense. That is my job. You tell him that none was taken. But anyway, you catch my drift, Mir continues undeterred. When you're the only one of the competent people around, the freeloaders will inevitably drive you crazy. Can't wait for Karandar to finally take the expedition out of this place. So, will you do something about it, eh? I'm told we're betting all we have on this hunch that Karandar has that you can deal with whatever he refuses to. The quartermaster grins. So shoo, I've no more time to waste. Alright, thank you, sir. Babran? What do we... Barandar? He told me not to discuss it with anybody. We'll talk to these people later. I've read a lot today. Explore the halls outside of the area controlled by the dwarves? Nothing happened there. What about checking out the Great Hall? The sprawling expanse of Khazran's Great Hall occupies much of the center of the mountain's innards. Doomgarak's main gates and most of its other districts can be reached from these now hollow cyclopean chambers. Most of these echoing halls are cast in perpetual darkness, with distant rumbling from the bowels of the earth watching over them from time to time. The ancient stonework is cracked and collapsed in many places, but large surfaces are still intact, a testament to the skill of the city's lost inhabitants. Often, horrifying arachnid figures stir in the obscured webs, eager to descend from the inky dark ceilings and snatch away careless explorers. In many halls, sculptures depicting ancestors and runes carved into surfaces stand as reminders of a glorious, magnificent age that was before Rune came to Doomgarak. I think it would be cool to make our way to the forges. Dude! Oh! So cool. The spacious halls and wide corridors that form Morgron have fallen silent an age ago. No hammers fall, no smelters churn molten metal, and no anvils ring out along its neatly cut stonework. The red glow of the Earth's ichor can still be observed in the great chasms that crisscross the Forge District, but their heat and light are far enough below to leave Morgron a dark, desolate tomb. The rumbling that can be heard all over Doomgarak is most potent here, yet the dwarven architecture is still solid after centuries of neglect. Metal has certainly fared worse, with old structures forged from iron having crumbled to little more than rusted bits and dust in most places. Still, they say that daring explorers might occasionally discover steel, or even precious metals that stood the test of time. Maybe somebody will tell us to go search for something there. Have we gained more? Oh, we haven't equipped our stuff yet. Where are the litters at? Here they are. You count as tools, miscellaneous, and outpost. Well, we're not in an outpost, so that doesn't help us. I don't really feel like taking away our tools, although this doesn't help us. These are worker this is for workers, so that literally is not helpful. Hey, we almost have enough for 4. All right. Come back, workers. I know I hired you and then immediately fired you. All right, we've got 4 stacks of stuff. Dude. Dude, we could be here for days. Wonderful. And you could leave people here too, which is kind of interesting. I suppose you probably would need to if you were going back down the mountain, right? Because you can only take 40 people one way or the other. Into the mines? God, the art is so good. Descending into the mines of Rilgrun feels like plunging into the dark heart of the world, yet tiny specks of light appear in the gloom from time to time. Sparkling motes of metal embedded in the old tunnel walls reflect the light of your lamps that must have given this place its name. Further in, these areas of flecked radiance are more widespread, and their cold, otherworldly beauty draws the eye, threatening to lure explorers into bottomless pits. Unfortunately, not many things of value are left in the shafts and tunnels, as it appears that Rilgrun was most thoroughly looted a long time ago. Explorers might run into clumps of webs while searching for scraps, however, and disturbing these often ends in gruesome death as the pallid arachnids descend from the darkened ceilings or hunting holes. Well, I don't want to die. Perhaps another time. Okay, interesting. Well, let's go check with the orcs real quick here. Into the fungal forest. All right. The vast caverns of Fangor are not the deepest subterranean area of Doomgarok, but are certainly the wildest. Barely any dwarven structures remain, and those that do are so overgrown by mushrooms that it's nigh impossible to find them. Indeed, fungi are everywhere, and the tree-sized strain of ghost mushrooms dominating the landscape. The soft glow of these mushrooms illuminates the gigantic caverns, so that intrepid explorers feel that they are in a moonlit glade. A fast-running stream of cool, clear water runs through the largest caverns, adding to the already attractive bounty of the place. Yet Fangor is far from a safe place. The occasional spiderweb and the sporadic, disconcerting drumming in the distance hint at unseen threats that might fall upon those who wander under the fungal canopy too carelessly. We will seek out the orcs. The Undermountain art is awesome. I've said it like 8 times this episode alone. You press into the deepest parts of the fungal forest in search of the tribal territory of the venomous Fang Orcs at the other side of Fangor. After about half an hour, you begin to hear the beating of drums in the distance. The rhythm is decidedly zestful. After another quarter of an hour with the drum beats echoing across the forest now and then, you enter a clearing and a bone javelin lands a few steps ahead of you, its serrated head burying itself in the mud. "Stop where you are, interlopers," a gruff voice calls out from somewhere in the canopy. "You are about to enter venomous Fang territory, and you're not welcome." You tell the sentry that you mean no harm and wish to talk to the leaders. He yells back, and you can see movement around your group and suspect at least a dozen orcs are lying in ambush. "What harm could you mongrels do to us true warriors?" This rubs many of your comrades the wrong way, but before matters can escalate, however, a lone orc clad in nothing but a loincloth and strange fetishes derived from pale spider trophies reveals himself. He raises his hand in a universal gesture of peace and calls out to the leader of the sentries to stay silent. "Apologies, Vagrus," he says, walking over to you and removes the javelin and tosses it aside. "Our warriors are many things, but they are not lax in their duties. Maybe a bit overzealous, you could say, but in these dark times you might be able to forgive them." He bows his head. "I am Urdok." Oh, I thought it was that other guy, Tarhek. He introduces himself. "One shaman of my many in our tribe. The spirits have guided me to you, warning of us of your coming, but I couldn't make it faster. We are engaged in a great spirit dance, and Tarhek, our leader, asked me to leave the ritual to bring you into the village. Would you honor us by accompanying me there? With your companions, of course." Urdok nods and asks you to follow him. He takes you along unseen paths across dense fungal thicket, and soon you emerge at the perimeter of a village. Most of the huts and dens are built using bone or spider chitin frames and leather. Although half of the buildings are on the ground level, many of the platforms are erected and attached to the largest mushrooms, housing the rest of the dwellings. The northwestern side of the small settlement hangs over a canyon. At its bottom, you spy a fast-running stream of clear water, clearly the reason for this village's location. There's a large gathering on a large platform on the left, and you can now make out dancing orcs. Others from the village watch them from afar, but many keep an eye on the perimeter too. At length, you cross the outer village, feeling the disdainful gaze of many of the orcs as you go on. After climbing up to the platform with the dancers, you take in the tribal ritual and its savage glory. The drums are louder up here, and the accompanying droning singing also adds to the cacophony. Green-skinned bodies flail around and stomp the ground in an ecstasy of spiritual fervor, unaware of your presence. All except one. The young shaman you saw at Karendar's peace talks walks across the chaos to stand before you. Yet something is odd. His body is outlined with a luminous energy, and his eyes are glowing. Well met, Vagrus, he greets you with a toothy smile. I am Tarhek, spiritual leader of this village. I instructed the good Urdak here to bring you in. I know who you are, too. The spirits, see, they observed you at the peace talks. Unfortunate that the negotiations failed, but still, the spirits saw you and told me you would come. I know what they know. They and I welcome you to our humble settlement. My fellow tribesmen will also accept your presence, but maybe you should expect less warmth from them, at least for now. You notice what seems like another Tarhek in the middle of the circle of dancers, sitting on the ground cross-legged, his eyes closed. Ah, yes, Tarhek. The Tarhek you've been talking to notices what you are looking at. I left my body there to be the anchor of the ritual while we speak. I must now return my attention to the dance. It won't take long. You can join the dance too, Vagrus. Urdak will help, or wait for me nearby. It's your choice. With that, Tarhek's form in front of you flashes once and disappears. I'll sit this one out. I don't know what I'm doing, and I wouldn't want to impose. You tell Urdak that you would rather wait for the spirit dance to end nearby, and he complies, taking you over to another platform where you can sit down on a rug, watching the ritual. Even here you are under the watchful eye of Orc sentries. Urdak then returns to the dance and you watch it unfold. For the next quarter of an hour, it rises in intensity as the rhythm escalates into what you can only describe as savage, and after reaching its zenith, the ritual peters out. The dancers fall to the ground in exhaustion. Right at the climax, however, you could swear that you can see the strange disembodied figures swirl and dance with the participants, only to disappear when you next blink. At length, the dance is over. When the spirit dance is over, the orcs on the platform disperse with the exception of the shamans who remain to talk. You find it curious there is no denouement, no real conclusion to the whole affair, at least not for most participants. They merely return to their tasks or families elsewhere. Some go down to the stream to wash off the sweat. After a short while, you are joined by Tarhek, who assures you that this time he is here, body and soul. I am to take you to our chieftain, he explains and beckons you to follow him. Only with both of us present should we listen to what you wish to say, as I know it'll concern our tribe. You comply and walk over to the central platform where a huge building has been erected to serve as the hall of the tribe's leadership. Inside is an open fireplace, a myriad of hanging dream catchers, and a throne constructed of spider parts upon which Chieftain Rock Brawl now sits. Totems of arachnid bits cover the wall, and half a dozen orc women are busy cooking, crafting, and training children. The chieftain is an aging but very imposing warrior with plenty of scars on his muscular tattooed body. I could swear I could smell a familiar stench, he growls, not bothering to get up. It's dwarf musk, reeking of cowardice. Seems to me that after their dishonorable ploy did not pay off, they decided to send bootlickers to mislead us. Hey, I am nobody's bootlicker. Little do they know, we know of the venomous fang are warriors, not bargainers, grave robbers, or mercenaries. The Vagrus here has brought us to be by the spirits, Tarhek says, his voice calm despite his worried expression. We would do well to listen to. Lies and empty flattery. What else would be the point of that? Keep yourself calm. We're very good at that. Yeah, gain loyalty with everybody. You keep your calm and tell Rockbrawl that you have come in peace and look upon the tribe as honorable warriors and stalwart survivors. Doomgarak is no place for weaklings, be they orcs, dwarves, or your own hardy crew. You express your wish to talk, not in Karendar's name, but certainly with his knowledge. The chieftain narrows his eyes and his face twists into a mean grin. A lackey, then, he murmurs, but not a craven at least, not one that is easily goaded into foolishness. Haha, he was testing me. The Vagrus has seen and accepted by the spirits during the ritual, he tells the old warrior. The dance was concluded and it confirmed our suspicions. War is upon us. I'm sure you prefer a fight, chieftain, but our people need all the advantages we can muster, as the foe fights dishonestly. The Vagrus can be a powerful ally if they decide to side with us. The dwarves are also inquisitive spirits, and they have a curious path ahead of them. They would also be much better allies than enemies. In the strained silence that follows, the chieftain's hard gaze never leaves you, but then he relents, leaning back in his chair and waves dismissively. If you say that the spirits wish us to welcome this wanderer, so be it, he growls, though I'd rather doubt that true warrior spirits would want to listen to such blathering that the dwarves and their friend here can perform. If my shamans insist, it seems I must yield. Vagrus, Tarhek turns to you. The chieftain and I are listening. Please tell us what brings you to our village. You introduce yourself and ask them about the venomous fang. "A tribe has been here for generations," Chieftain Brockbrawl says, beating a fist once against his chest. "Our ancestors claimed these ruins for themselves, long after they'd stood forsaken and forgotten, unwanted. Yet now all sorts of vermin have crawled in here and want to take it for themselves. Never mind that we worked to cultivate the mushroom forest, that our ancestral spirits cleansed it of curses to make it habitable, that we have been fighting the damned spiders for decades to protect what little is left. There's plenty for everyone here, Chieftain," Tarhek says carefully. "The spirits are joyous when more life occupies this place to share in its shelter and bounty." "Dwarven spirits, maybe," Brockbrawl growls. "Not our ancestors. They'd be ashamed to see us give an inch from Doomgarak to these pretenders and marauders. There's no stopping them except by strength of arms and the ferocity of true warriors, and that's why these peace talks were doomed to fail from the start. When we single out a path before even considering the others, we are indeed condemned to grapple with the outcome without the wisdom to see the mistake," the young shaman interjects. "Oh, I welcome the outcome," the chieftain says with a chuckle. "Finally, this silly dance is over, and we can treat the dark elves and the other interlopers as they deserve to be treated. Treacherous fools and weak opportunists. We can finally do what we were meant to do. Fight it out. It is only woeful when one can't and instead is forced to dance to unnatural tunes." He almost spits the next words out like bile. "Politics, diplomacy, trickery." Tarhek shakes his head. The young shaman closes his eyes and seems to concentrate briefly. A moment later, something moves in the air around you. The orc women gasp and retreat into neighboring chambers, murmuring warding prayers. To your horror, ghastly forms begin to phase in and out of existence, ethereal and transparent, but decidedly orcish. The chieftain seems nailed to his chair, gritting his teeth. "Hear us, progeny." The voice is an amalgamation of several. Oh god, I wish I could do that. You glance over at Tarhek and see that he is still concentrating, his eyes closed, head cocked back. Brockbrawl does not move, his gaze darting around to catch a better look at the spirits swirling around the hall. "Our failings must not be yours. Divided, we slew brother and sister. Fight you must, yes, but fight you must when time is right, and only the foe that is true." As quickly as they appeared, the specters vanished, and a calmness descends on the hall. "Your forebears made the mistake of denying alliances and turning on friends," Tarhek says softly, and the chieftain remains silent. He looks at his feet, but the anger seems gone. "Your father was a cunning warrior, but he was blinded by bloodlust. You know the treachery that caused his death urges you to distrust, chieftain. But now you have us and the spirits to guide you. Allow us. Let us listen to the Vagrus and the dwarves, to at least contemplate what they offer. We wouldn't risk losing everything like the ones before us almost did. Be it to be the spiders or the outsiders." Rockball looks up and looks at both of you, nodding, appearing calm and agreeable now, though his fierce spirit still shines in his yellow eyes. "The tribe came here to find shelter from chaos and a new beginning," he says. "Those that did also found restless spirits and unrelenting foes, but prevailed. Perhaps we can share some of this with our outsiders, who also seek shelter and new beginnings. So then, what is your intent here, Vagrus?" Announce that you are here to kill them! No, you're here to aid them. That was the whole point we came here. Tarhek glances at the chieftain, who sighs heavily, folding his arms across his chest. After a brief pause, he nods at the young shaman. "An alliance is possible," Tarhek tells you in a serious tone, "but for us, actions speak louder than words." "He means you have to attack our foe, the cowardly Dark Elves," Rockbrawl interrupts, "and not just once. If you want to convince the tribe that you are on our side, Vagrus, then you'll have to wage a war against the Dark Elves. Their trespass into our territory won't go unpunished. Let them think they can set up their little outpost in the ruins. Then we'll fall upon them and obliterate them." "I must admit I would have preferred a peaceful solution," the young shaman chimes in. It is unfortunate that it has come to this." "Peacemongering has no place at times like this, Tarhek," the chieftain observes. "Mayhaps," Tarhek agrees, "and far be it from us shamans to suggest that the spirits want us to give up without a fight. We might prefer coexistence and peace, but when the tribe is embroiled in conflict, we will place all our might at its disposal." "We expect nothing less from you, Vagrus, if you are so serious about your intentions," the chieftain turns to you, "especially because these Sardaukron are merely spies and scouts. More will come should they succeed in building a foothold in Doomgarak. Their blackened bellies of their accursed cities down below spew out an endless stream of the murdering bastards. You tell them that you are willing and able to take part." "You will have to prove it to us," Chieftain Rockbrawl says sharply. There are many things you can assist the tribe with, delivering supplies and goods, mapping the depths of the city, hunting monstrous creatures, ambushing the dark elven patrols. The list goes on. You tell them that you are looking forward to it. Soon you formally seal your alliance by shaking hands and eating food together, as per the tribe's tradition. The chieftain declares you their ally and says that the Sardaukron clan will soon learn of your allegiance, thus there is no turning back. He is still suspicious, however, and promises to keep an eye on you, as will their ancestral spirits if Tarhek is to be believed. Once all that is settled, Urdok arrives to show you around the village. We'll discuss how you can be of use to us when you're back, but first... oh wait, that was Rockbrawl. Take a look around. This is what community is. You indulge the chieftain and accompany Urdok. He takes you across the village and shows you the main landmarks. You already know the hall of their leaders, and on the other platforms fastened to the giant mushroom trunks, you find large huts, dwellings mostly. Spider House is where the craftier Venomous Fang tribe members practice their respective skills, according to Urdok. You might be able to barter for wares of value with them. You also visit the back of the village, where several winding paths take one down to the fast-running stream beneath the northwest platform. This is the only place where no spider totems have been placed. Instead, dozens of pails are lined by the rock wall next to washing equipment. Once you return to the higher elevation, you ask the shaman about the spider totems around the village. Part of our tribe's identity, and indeed the name Venomous Fang, comes from our battle against the pale arachnids that now share the ruins with us, Urdok explains. The effigies we fashion with the parts of slain spiders serve several purposes. They show the valor and prowess of their owner, empower the ancestor spirits, and strike fear into the arachnids. Expressing doubt, you tell Urdok that you do not think spiders sense fear upon seeing their own dead. You'd be surprised, the shaman confides. These arachnids are not simple insects of great size. There is an evil cunning to them, a searching mind of malevolence. The spirits told us so, too. Once the tour is finished, Urdok takes you back to the chieftain's hall. You return to the chieftain's hall and Tarhek joins you soon afterwards. The three of you go over what the tribe requires from you. In order to earn their trust, you must first descend into the various districts of Doomgarok now and again, with a different goal each time. You will be able to get a briefing on these tasks each time you commit to exploring the ruins of the city for the Venomous Fang. We're surrounded by enemies, Rockbrawl explains. The Dark Elves are the most persistent, as I've said before. You'll have to face them again and again. We also have the spiders. You'll run into them simply by moving around Doomgarok. They might be part of our identity, but make no mistake, Vagrus, Tarhek chimes in. The arachnids are plague on this mountain, and they would exterminate us without a moment's thought. They devour all life and light. Sooner or later, we'll have to take the fight to them. The chieftain takes over again. But that's for later. There's other creatures here, too. Fouler than even spiders. It's no surprise the ruins are the best shelter far and wide, drawing all sorts of beasts, abominations, and unwanted specters to it. You must be prepared to fight against them, too. You ask them if anything else is required of you. We might have other things later on, Rockbrawl ponders. You must convince us you can be trusted first, and make use of the wandering gang of yours. Bring us things we need. Here, we're cut off from the outside world, especially thanks to the obnoxious Dark Elves. Certain wares, supplies, and materials are hard to come by in Doomgarok. We can pay in goods and even silver. You'll earn our trust, too. That is what you want, after all. And we of the Venomous Fang are not only unmatched in battle, but also loyal to our friends. Anyway, drop by the Spider House every once in a while and learn what our people need. I believe that is all, Tarhek says after a brief pause. We will be at your disposal to discuss things should you feel the need. Cool. Well, I think we're gonna leave Ungfungor for a while, and I will save the thing there, and we will see if we can do some stuff for the for the orcs next time. So, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please click the like button, it helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus The Riven Realms, or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel, make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!